hard to hate up close. This is a sentiment that I've heard said in different ways throughout my entire life, and it's always proved useful, especially in times where you find it really hard to find common ground with people that maybe you just don't agree with, or that it's hard to see their point of view. Personally, I've loved growing up in the era of social media. Now, I was there before it was really a thing, and I'm here now. Some people might call me an unk for that, but it's all good. I like the way that I've grown up. But the whole point in me really saying this is that before a lot of these things came about, the real way to communicate was done via face-to-face communication, right? Or you had to go pick up your landline and call your buddy or something else like that to have a conversation. A lot of times it forced us into proximity, which allowed us to look at the other person as a human being, not as some type of enemy that we've created online. See, while social media and the internet is a fantastic way to share ideas, to innovate, to grow, and to do things like that across the globe, it's also something that can become a detriment. So when I talk about hate, it's so easy for this to happen these days because it's easy to dehumanize someone that's on the other side of the screen than us, someone that has some anonymous username, but we don't necessarily think of this as being a person, not all the time. So when we get to a point where we hate this person, we hate someone's ideas, we hate where they come from or what they stand for, this is the dangerous territory that you can easily get to. Take, for instance, that last frame that you just watched. How much harder was it to see me in that angle than it was to see me in this right now? The only difference really being that I came a little bit closer and I have a little bit more light on me. I'm the same person, I'm still speaking about the same topic, but the difference is perspective. It's so much easier to see me in this light than it is in that way. And that's what I mean by humanizing people. See, when we're across the screen and we mostly communicate through comments, through our social media handles or through text messages and things, but we don't have conversations, we don't meet up with people to break bread anymore, it makes it so much harder to have this close-up perspective for you to be able to see each other as human beings. At the end of the day, a lot of us are all the same. From traveling a lot when I was a kid and moving all the time and living outside the country, and also a family that's from outside the country too, my perspective changed earlier on in my life. And what you realize is that no matter where you are in this world, a lot of us have the same goals. We want to have a strong family. We want health for ourselves and our family. We want to have some type of financial stability. And we want to laugh. We want to love. We want to feel loved. This is true across the board in the entire world. See, the difference is, and the thing that people miss oftentimes, is that we just have different ways of going about that. We oftentimes hear actions over words, right? But what about intentions over actions? Because the intentions is the vehicle, and this is the way that we try to get towards the same goals. Just because somebody has different ways of getting towards that same goal or different perspectives as to how to achieve these same things doesn't mean that they're a worse person than you. You're not always going to agree with people, and that's perfectly okay. But when we get to the point of looking at somebody, or therefore not looking at them, and be on the other side of the keyboard and forming full opinions about somebody that we've never met, we've never had the opportunity to have a conversation with, that's when we get into this territory that can be kind of a slippery slope. Oftentimes people ask me how I have the perspective that I do, or how I've gotten to the place where I am in my life, or how I'm confident. I don't know if I necessarily agree with all those things, but if there's anything that I have that you think you want in your life, I've done it by doing exactly what I'm telling you here today. It's seeking out perspectives and things that I don't agree with, or I think I don't agree with, or maybe just things that I don't understand. I would tell you that more often than not, it's not like I'll hear someone else's opinion that's different than mine and be completely swayed and change everything that I've thought my entire life. But sometimes it makes me think about things that I didn't see. Because if you only look at life through your own perspective or through the team that you belong to, you're only ever going to have one narrow perspective. We grow, we learn, and we innovate by talking to people that have different ideas than us, to kind of pick and choose the things that we do like and the things that we do agree with. But if we never have these conversations, we get stuck in this rut of hating this person instead of humanizing them and seeing what it is they have to bring to the table. I like to seek out perspectives of things that I don't agree with. I like to seek out perspectives of people that think things different than me. I like to watch debates. I like to see people that talk about anything else than I already think. Why would I need to go and find people that think exactly what I think just to reaffirm what I already believe? How am I ever going to innovate, change, learn, or become more confident like that anyway? So my challenge to you today is to try and seek out somebody that maybe you think you disagree with. Try to go online and watch a debate. Watch someone's perspective that is completely different than yours, as opposite as you can find. You never know what you may learn. You may come away from that and nothing could change, and that's okay. But at least you did something and you tried, right? And there may be 10 points that you hear, and there may be one of them you think, you know what, I do agree with that, or that's a good point. I didn't think about it like that. And the more that you do this in your life, the easier it is
to learn, to grow, to think differently yourself, to see that it's kind of not really our place to just belong to one team and think like that for the rest of our life. And you never know the perspective you may have of this person afterwards. I think this is the most beautiful thing about life. It's the ability to sit there and have conversations and talk to people that we don't necessarily agree with, because that's what it's all really about. I hope this makes sense. I hope this helps somebody out there. And if it did, please go ahead and drop me a like below. I'll see you all here in the next one. Take care for now. Peace.